Hello and welcome to the Tennis Menu's Daily US Open show. Febbo here with you for the tennismenu.com. Everything you need to know about the world of tennis right at your fingertips. Drills, videos, any package you want is there. Run by this man, Marc Sophoulis, the best high performance coach in the business. Hashtag Marc for PM. Hashtag better than Moratoglu. Hashtag the best. How are you, Marc?
Hashtag massive head. And I'm going well, thanks, Val. Early morning this morning, watching a bit of the tennis and some interesting results. Obviously, we'll touch on them shortly, but the US Open hasn't disappointed at all. I've been looking all over the social media feeds, and it's just incredible how many people are tuning into the US Open. And I saw one interesting thing, actually. We didn't even talk about this on before we came on the show, but Laura Siegemund, the German, she basically was given a key. She's now in the semi-final of the doubles and was given a key to a suite on Arthur Ashe Arena. Obviously, everybody is now vacated because we're in the second week, and she was actually showing it on her Instagram feed that she was getting her suite. She had a nice little room and had a massage table set up, TVs, and you could walk on the balcony and watch all the tennis from Arthur Ashe Stadium. So that was pretty impressive to watch, and social media doesn't disappoint.
No, it definitely doesn't. How lush are those suites?
Yeah, they're incredible.
Hey,
Absolutely incredible.
I think it was Gordon Reed, the wheelchair player, put it on his socials yesterday. I was looking, going, oh my God. Well, of course, they are corporate boxes. So you are going to enjoy a certain style of living when you're up there. But no, they are lush. You get perfect view of what's going on in the tennis. You can watch, you can analyze your opponents. If you're coming up against a big player next, then that definitely helps. But it has been a big day of tennis. Serena Williams avenging her loss to Maria Sakkari in Cincinnati a week and a half ago. 6-3, 6-7 again, losing the second set tiebreak, losing a tight second set, but then running away with the third 6-3. Continuing with the women's Fatana Pironkova, continuing her stunning run at this US Open. Unranked going into the tournament, barely. I don't think she'd even played for 3 years. She beats Elisa Cornet 6-4, 6-7, 6-3. Elise Mertens, I picked this yesterday. I said whoever wins the first set's going to win, and I thought Mertens would. She beats Sofia Kenin 6-3, 6-3. And then Victoria Azarenka defeating Karolina Muchova 5-7, 6-1, 6-4. I was wondering before the match if Karolina had much of a chance of winning this US Open, but
Ba-boom, ching! You didn't get that one.
I'm going to stop now. Here all day, everyone. Here all day. Hit me up.
No, it was obviously Azarenka. What an incredible comeback she's made back onto the tour. And, she's playing some ripping tennis. It's great to watch her play to the level she's playing at. And, she's just cruising on. I mean, it must be the motherly features, because you've got Azarenka, you've got Serena Williams, you've got Pironkova all getting through. And I think in the doubles, Ivanova's back, and she's had a child as well. So, it's the year of the mum, and 2020 could quite prove to be that if we get a little deeper in the tournament, and a couple of the mums are still there.
Yeah, they sure are. And Serena v. Pironkova next up. Who would have thought that would be the quarterfinal? I didn't think Serena would get there, and let alone Pironkova. I thought she'd be gone early. So Brilliant stuff and brilliant narratives throughout this US Open. But from a coaching perspective, Marc, looking at the Serena Williams and Maria Sakkari result, 6-3, 6-7, 6-3. Serena losing to Sakkari in Cincinnati last week, as I mentioned before. As a coach, when your pupil is coming up against a player that beat them last week or the tournament before, what do you analyze, and what do you go to work with your player, and what do you say, all right, this is what we're going to look at, this is what you did badly, or is it because this is where you got her last time, you didn't do enough of this? What are you exactly looking at when you're talking to your player about an upcoming match such as this one?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It's pretty much what worked and what didn't. What did you do really well that hurt her? What did you do not so well that obviously gave her an opportunity? And then what did she try and do against you? What was she trying to take away from your game? What did she do to beat you in those circumstances? So literally you dissect some of the data, but also you take into account how the lead up to the match was. And every match is so different. Serena might not have had a lot of matches, as Sakkari might have been ready for it. Her mindset on the day might not have been on. So there's so many different factors you can take into account. But at the end of the day, you look at the data, you dissect it as a team, and you work out what the plan of attack is. And I've talked about it a fair bit in terms of game planning. You've got to look at 80% what you can control, 20% is the opponent. So there's no real change to what you're going to do. There might be a 5% difference from the week before, but at the end of the day, you've got to go out there and control the controllables, play to your strengths, and see where that takes you.
Yeah, something I'm not very good at, controlling the controllables in my life, especially on Melbourne's roads. But that's a story for another day, Mark. I think we can have story time at the end of the US Open.
Might be nice.
Just celebrating the US Open and all the stories, but we'll share some of our own anecdotes. I think that would be very befitting to the end of the tournament. But another result that we spoke about yesterday, Elise Mertens and Sophia Kenin. Big match, under lights, Arthur Ashe Stadium. Mertens gets over the line, 6-3, 6-3. And I wanted to bring this up with the men's results as well. But a prime example of this notion is here. 19 winners for Elise Mertens, 23 to Sophia Kenin. She obviously clubs the ball. But Mrs. Sheen, Mr. Sheen, very clean. Mrs. Sheen is Elise Mertens. 7 unforced errors. Kenin, 26.
Yeah, it's interesting watching that match. I made a real conscious effort to watch that match. And Elise Mertens played a match where she was just getting Sophia Kenin out of her comfort zone. And if you let Kenin control anything, you're in trouble. Kenin's got power, a little pocket rocket. She's got the power to be able to hurt you. But Mertens was making sure she was out of her comfort zone, putting her into situations that Kenin didn't want to be in. And Kenin doesn't like to defend. She likes to stay on offense. She likes to really hit the ball. And she was trying to play offense from defensive situations. Now, that's just, flirting with danger right there. You've got to make sure in defense you play defensive balls, you stay in the point long enough to be able to counterattack. And Kenin just did not do that. Mertens was clean, as you said, less unforced errors, forced her into error a lot of the time, and just didn't make mistakes. And that's, at the end of the day, we play a game of errors where 80% of points are finishing with an error. And Elise Mertens kept the ball in the court longer than Kenin did, and that's pretty much the simplicity of how it happened.
Yeah, and we did say this yesterday, that if Mertens won the first set, she would probably shake Kenin up a little bit, and Kenin would start making mistakes. And if Kenin gets that confidence up where she just starts redlining and just hitting the lines, painting the lines, hitting the ball hard and creating winners from a situation where it doesn't look like one is going to be struck. That's what Mertens did. She got under her skin and didn't allow Kenin to do that, which Barty did at the Australian Open in the semi-finals. Barty should have had that match on her racket. She served for both sets and had breaks in both of them and chances to go through to that Australian Open final. Kenin was able to get back on top, and that's what she couldn't do today. And was it the speed of the courts, do you think, that allowed Mertens to sort of get under the skin of Kenin?
Oh, I think it was more just the fact that she was able to hit her spots consistently, and all she was doing was keeping Kenin on her toes and keeping her moving. And if you play Kenin up and down the middle of the court, you're in a lot of trouble because she can really pop the ball.
Oh, yeah.
It's a matter of getting her out of her strike zone, getting her off balance, and not allowing her time to set her feet up. It's one of those things. If she can set the feet and get a really solid ground position and then be able to club the ball, you're in trouble. So you've got to keep her feet moving. You've got to keep her off balance. You've got to keep her in situations she doesn't want to be in and put her into defense. And if she's in defense, you've got a better chance of her sort of going into an error as opposed to hitting clean winners and forcing you into error.
Yeah, I think so. And it's so good to watch her tactically. She's so consistent. We've had the running theme of the US Open so far, I think from a coaching perspective, has been the difference between your best and worst tennis. And Mertens is about there.
Yep, absolutely.
So good. And I love watching her play. I love her humility. I love her bubbly personality. And she's a winner that we can all love and that we can all get around.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just so honest. She's one of those just honest players, just goes on the court, does her job, gets off the court. And that's all you can really ask. She was outstanding this morning, and she's going to be a really hard player to beat. If she's going to play at that level, it's going to be very, very hard to beat her. And I know Serena Williams is still in the draw, Naomi Osaka is still in the draw, so it's going to be hard for anyone to beat those two. But Elise Mertens is playing some really solid tennis.
Yeah, well, I think the one of the finalists is going to come out of that next matchup. Mertens and Azarenka will take on each other. Azarenka hitting the ball very sweetly at the moment, and came from a set down against Karolina Muchova, but was pretty comprehensive towards the end of the match. And what is allowing her to stand out, and why has she been able to sort of come back and make this comeback? And What's changed in her game that's allowed? Maybe is it just a clean run without injuries?
A clean run without injuries. Also, she's been there, done that, right? So when you've been able to walk in those footprints before, I think you understand what it takes. And I wasn't probably joking at the start about the year of the mum, because it puts a different perspective on your life. And when I became a parent, it just makes you change the way you go about things. It makes you see things differently. It makes you appreciate what you have. And the perspective you have when you're a parent compared to when you're not is totally different. And it's just been great to see Azarenka and Serena and Pironkova come back and be so clean with their game, but they're actually so composed, which I'm finding really, really amazing. And as a parent, you probably lose your crap more than anything when you're at home. So to be able to go on court's probably an absolute dream come true. And you're able to just be able to be yourself, be alone, be in your own mind, chill out, hit some tennis balls, and you don't have to change the nappies and deal with crying and deal with, feeding and all this sort of stuff that goes on. So it's quite a hectic life as a parent. Tennis life must be a breeze for these mums. So they're doing such a good job. And Azarenka's playing some phenomenal tennis. She knows how to play. You're never going to lose that talent. It's like riding a bike. But yeah, she's clean. She's relaxed. She's in a good mind frame. And, why not get back and win a Grand Slam? It's a possibility now.
100% agree there. And the final women's match, Pironkova over Cornet. I think it was Cornet just can't get that Grand Slam quarterfinal, can she? She was one set away from doing it. And Pironkova steamrolled a Wimbledon semi-finalist in 2010, French Open quarterfinalist, and now US Open quarterfinalist. Brilliant performance from Svetlana Pironkova. You mentioned the mums thing, and she'd be very happy to be back out on court. She's still quite young, so plenty of years left for her, and what a narrative that is. But moving to the men's results from this morning, Dominic Thiem has made an epic statement. I thought this was going to be a 5-setter, and the first set proved to be pretty long. But this match was over very quickly after that. Thiem winning that 7-6, 6-1, 6-1. Auger-Aliassime going with him early, but then Thiem just turning on the afterburners and running away with that match. Daniil Medvedev, the Russian king, bageling Francis Tiafoe in the third set. 6-4, 6-1, 6-love. Was never in doubt, that one. He was always on top. Alex De Minaur, big win over Vasek Pospisil, 7-6, 6-3, 6-2. Was 6-2 down in that first set tiebreaker. Came back to win the last 6 points and then steamrolled the Canadian on his way to his first Grand Slam quarterfinal. And Andrei Rublev falling in the first set to Matteo Berrettini, but winning the next 3, 6-3, 6-3, 6-3 after losing the first 6-4. What impressed you the most today, Marc?
Dominic Thiem definitely was impressive. Watching him in the first set, he was nervous. There's no doubt both players were trying to feel each other out a little bit. He had the break in the first set, serving for it at 5-4. Aliassime broke back. And then basically from there, it was all Dominic Thiem once his confidence was up. Felix has got to probably improve the mindset a little bit. He does get down on himself quite easily. He does get dejected. He was a little bit all over the place after that first set and was just making too many errors. And Dominic Thiem finished the match with one of the most incredible up-the-line winners you'll ever see. In true trademark Dominic Thiem fashion, he just let loose on a backhand, and it just literally, I don't think Aliassime even saw it go past him. It was that good. But, he made a real statement today, as did Medvedev. I thought he was incredible, flawless performance. Yeah. He almost sees a little bit of a light at the end of this tunnel, and I'm thinking he's seeing that it's a real opportunity now that Novak Djokovic did beat himself yesterday. He's actually got an opportunity to get through and win his maiden Grand Slam, which I think is a possibility for either him or Thiem right at this minute.
Yeah, it's those two. Just a quick. So there's a couple of questions I'm going to fire your way now. So Thiem, Wawrinka, Federer. You got to pick one of those three backhands. Go.
I reckon Stan.
Yeah.
I think Stan from a topspin backhand perspective, but then the all-roundedness of Roger, who can slice and can hit. I think that, if you're looking at the full-rounded stroke itself, you'd go with Roger. If you look for pure ability to play a shot from anywhere on the court, you'd go for Wawrinka. If you look for the player who can play heavy and flat, you go for Thiem. So it's they're all very, very different backhands. I think technically I would say Wawrinka, but they're all incredible backhands.
I agree with the Stan quote there as well. I think that shot itself has won him Grand Slams.
Yeah.
But Federer's use of the slice, if you incorporate the slice into that question, but this is just normal backhand, like top spin, down the line, whatever, what have you, pure aesthetically pleasing. But Federer's slice is the most underrated shot in tennis history because he uses that so effectively to get himself back into points and to get the rally back to an even position. When he is down, that slice comes in handy, but he can use that to turn that defense into attack because he can get such angle on it. And it's so beautiful to watch. But Stan's one-handed backhand is purely just orgasmic. There's no other superlative for it. It's unbelievable. I know you weren't expecting that. I know you weren't expecting that.
It is. It's incredible. And you did mention Federer's slice. And I mean, it's no different to Ash Barty. I think they're both a very similar player in that they can come forward, stay back, they can defend, they can play offense. The all-round court players, they're unbelievable. And you look at the way Federer does it on a court, off the return of serve especially, where he knifes the ball short cross-court and just sets himself up for a big backhand line or run around forehand. It's incredible to watch. And, love both of those players, Ash Barty and Roger Federer, for that reason.
And head to the tennismenu.com blog section as well. There's an article about that. A slice of Barty is all we need. So get around. I'm not going to tell you who wrote that. But
not sure.
But another question. Would Dominic Thiem, even though, yes, he's the highest seed left in this tournament, oldest player, Carreño Busta is, but he's one of the older players left in this draw, would he still be regretting not staying in Europe and training on the clay? Because the French Open is, if you look at it holistically, is still his best chance to win a slam. How do you regret not going? Because Nadal's got that advantage already. He hasn't left Europe. He's training on the clay. He's loving this. But Thiem has been playing on the hard courts. Is there no substitute? Is match practice? So Nadal's trained on the clay, doesn't have the match play. Thiem hasn't trained on the clay, but will get a chance to, but has the match play. Who wins out there?
It's a hard one because, Nadal is just so good. So, I mean, he could play no matches for 2 years, come back and probably still win a Grand Slam on clay. He's just a freak. Look, Dominic Thiem, he's in a situation in his career now where he's a possibility of winning on any surface. I think he's good enough player now. He's got the runs on the board. He's played on every surface. He's challenged. He's been a good player. There's no doubt he's enjoying his run at the US Open at the moment. And who knows? He may even win this one and win the French. I mean, time will tell. And I think 2020 has been a crazy year anyway. So why not have someone come out of the blocks like he has already here and do what he does and then go and win the French Open. So it could be interesting. Nadal, though, you just can't put anything past Nadal. I mean, he's unbelievable on clay. And if you've got the big players all playing clay, who knows who's going to take that out. But I think if he stayed present, I don't think he's regretting anything at the moment.
Yeah, very true, very true. But look, Thiem deserved to win the Australian Open final this year as well. He led, he was in a good position. Just couldn't get the job done. Djokovic went into Novak mode and became a brick wall and played like Pong, like you mentioned yesterday. And he became Pong and ended up getting through and winning that title. Is I think 8th Australian Open, so unbelievable records there. Daniil Medvedev playing brilliantly. Alex De Minaur, though, huge result for him. You mentioned that the unforced error to win account with Mertens and Kennan was the exact same in this one. De Minaur only making 11. Hang on, have I got this? 13 unforced errors in 3 sets. 48 to Vasek Pospisil. That is staggering, but he hit 43 winners en route and De Minaur only 16 winners. So it was more just just trying to be Pong himself and trying to negate the power of Vasek Pospisil.
Yeah, and we did talk about that yesterday. De Minaur relies on the ball speed. The more ball speed you give him, the better he plays. And obviously they played in the morning, which was a bit warmer, and obviously the ball speed would have been on. Pospisil playing big as it is, gave him everything he needed to be able to counterpunch and win his way through. And he's just such a competitor. I mean, there's no one else like him out there. He would just throw the kitchen sink at you. He's not the kind of guy that has every single weapon in the book, but his weapon is his wheels. He gets to every ball. He makes you earn everything. He plays every ball on the court, like you said, and reduces the amount of errors he plays and says, hey, if you want to beat me, you got to beat me. And, and that's how he did it this morning. And Pospisil just made too many unforced errors and obviously, just couldn't last with him.
If you say ball speed is going to play to Alex De Minaur's strength, well, he's going to play a blinder against Dominic Thiem then, because that is the quarterfinal matchup, and I am so excited for it because De Minaur's wheels against the full truck that is Dominic Thiem, that is going to be super exciting. And Matteo Berrettini winning the first set, and then Andrei Rublev, he's flown under the radar this tournament, but he has gone about his business very well. It'll be an all-Russian affair between him and Daniil Medvedev in the quarterfinals. Rublev making it, I think, in 2017 to the quarters. And yeah, he's kind of ticking along nicely, isn't he? That's a good win over last year's semi-finalist.
Big forehand, big game, high intensity. You know, if you've got a weapon in this game at this stage, I mean, this is where it all counts. And his weapons, his big forehand, and he just lets it go. Like, he's one of the guys you know he's going to redline every ball. He's going to leave nothing, no stone unturned. He just goes bang on the forehand. He makes you absolutely play on defense, move. He rips the hell out of it, and he beats you through his pure fierceness on the court. And I mean, he's a hard player to play. And as you said, he's been at this stage before. Can he go a little bit further? That remains to be seen. But incredible player.
I don't think he's beating Daniil, but imagine Zverev and Rublev get to the final. Who's got the biggest mop?
Oh, you'd have to say Rublev. I was watching them both practice together at the Australian Open, and the grunting was one thing. I really enjoyed listening to that. You probably wouldn't have, but the hair was out here, and it was like a 1980s aerobics class going on with the headbands and the hair, and it was quite amazing. But yeah,
up and down and up. Oh, God. Let's get into tomorrow's schedule, Mark. It's going to be another big day of quarterfinal action. Jennifer Brady against Yulia Putintseva there. Who's your tip? Is it Jennifer?
I'm going to stick with Jennifer. I've liked her all tournament. She's home crowd advantage. So everyone that's not cheering, she's getting in behind her. No, but she was probably the informed player. Putintseva's gone about her business pretty well, and you haven't heard much about her, but you know, she's just snuck her way into a quarterfinal. So, but I'll go Jennifer Brady on that one.
Kazakhstan in my country. Very nice. I'd love to see a Kazakh Grand Slam winner because I'm a big fan of the movie Borat, and if it does happen, I will be posting a lot of Borat gifs on Twitter that morning, or you will hear a lot of impersonations on this show after the women's final if Putintseva does win. You can guarantee that. Alex Zverev against Borna Coric tomorrow as well. I think Zverev gets through this one. I think Coric has had his run now. 2 big matches, a good win over Jordan Thompson. But I think Alexander Zverev is ticking along very nicely, and he destroyed Alejandro Davidovich Fokina in the 4th round, and I had to bring it up again. But yeah, he's actually been quite sound, I think, technically, and
surprising.
Mentally, he's been okay.
It's okay when you're winning, huh? Let's see when he's tested, and this is a real challenge for him because Coric is in form. He's playing some good tennis. It's just whether or not he's physically capable of sustaining another match, and probably he'll have to play 4 or 5 sets to win this one. So, you know, it'd be interesting for Coric, but you know, Zverev is playing some good tennis.
He sure is, and yeah, I think Zverev gets through that one as well. Naomi Osaka against Shelby Rogers. Naomi pretty easily, you think?
Yeah, I think Naomi will take this one pretty comfortably.
Same here. And Pablo Carreño Busta against Denis Shapovalov. Carreño Busta got through the unthinkable over Novak Djokovic, and literally it was unthinkable. Nobody thought that would happen. But Denis has been playing, he's been playing some scintillating tennis, and I'm excited to see what this match can bring. But Carreño Busta can be a brick wall when he wants to be. US Open semi-finalist. He has been there, done that at this tournament before. Who's to say he can't cause another upset?
Yeah, absolutely. Who knows what's going to happen out of this match? But it'd be good to see Shapovalov. I think he's been around a little bit now. He's paid his dues. He's another one that got defaulted only a few years ago. Similar situation to Djokovic, although the umpire did bust an eye socket out of that one, so it was a little bit
surgery.
Yeah, a bit of a tough one, but. Yeah, two players in a row that have been defaulted in the last few years. So Carreño Busta, yeah, he's been given a bit of a lucky draw through to this one, and who knows? I mean, to have Shapovalov in a quarterfinal is quite a good draw for Busta as well.
Exactly. Well, I think a couple of years ago it was Shapovalov playing Carreño Busta in his first Grand Slam 4th round, and now in his first Grand Slam quarterfinal he plays Carreño Busta again. So this match has the makings of a 5-setter on Ash, and fingers crossed we do get that, because it will be an awesome encounter if we do, because the quality of Carreño Busta, the difference between his best and worst is not far between, or they're not far between. So very well done to both of them. But Marc, been a pleasure talking tennis with you again. Excuse my poor humour today. It's been kind of a loose day, but we got to have some fun, don't we?
Oh, that's what this show's about. It's about fun, and if it wasn't, we'd be on Channel 9, mate. But we're not, and we're doing our job here on little known Zoom, and paying for our own subscription. So we're enjoying our time here. Hopefully, the audience is enjoying our time and our poor predictions. But it's been quite an enjoyable day, Val.
We could be ESPN as well. Don't worry. We could be showing split screens and giving everybody headaches and making completely inappropriate comments. But we better wrap up, because this is getting very... we're going to say something we both regret. Marc, thank you very much. Best high performance coach in the business.
All good. Thanks, Val.
Remember, you can follow us at The Tennis Menu on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, The Tennis Menu as well, thetennismenu.com for articles, drills, videos, packages, anything you need to make your game better or to improve that of your pupils. It's all there at thetennismenu.com. I've been Febbo. Marc Sophoulis on the other line. Quarterfinal action at Flushing Meadows tomorrow. Tune in.